Good evening, class, and welcome to your virtual course. This is Math 227, section 24789. My name is Dr. Araypur. Welcome to your course. I have sent you several emails. I hope you've had a chance to explore the course. And here's the home page of your Canvas. As you can see, when you get to the home page, the very first thing it tells you, watch the welcome message. This is exactly what I'm doing now. I'm welcoming you to the course. I'm very happy to have you here, and I wish you all best of luck. And with enough amount of time that we put in, we will do well in this course. I promise you, although it's a fairly fast-paced course, as you know, but it is set up in such a way that if you go step by step, as you're asked, you will do fine. The next one, number 2, read the class philosophy. It's simply telling us that it's a community and we have the same objective. We are all here to learn. And online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you're not in this alone. I'm here to help you. Your fellow students can help you. And the bottom line is you can take this as a regular course and you will do fine. Number 3, you want to read the announcements. Now, let me put this in the student view mode. So whatever is available for now, the idea was that if you wanted to explore the course, you could have gone over the recorded orientation. There's a recorded orientation that does not pertain to this course, but the course that is similar. Welcome and orientation, welcome to your virtual course. And I sent several of those just to make sure you get a chance to check the course and at least spend some time to see what you're getting yourself into. That was the purpose of this. And I hope you've done that. Needless to say, we are here. So that takes care of that. And that takes us to step 4. Now, step 4, follow the steps below. Starts with the syllabus. You can either click on the syllabus here or the syllabus on the left navigation bar, and it says read and explore the segments. So let's spend some time on that. When you click on that, you do 2 things. You see the syllabus and the Excel calendar. We're going to look at both. Now, I understand that nowadays the syllabi are getting larger and larger. Not everybody is going to read the whole thing. So instead of giving you just the whole thing in one shot, I have cut it into pieces and topics. And the topics that interest you, you can go read those. For example, we start with the student learning outcome, text, calendar, so on and so forth. So I'm going to spend a couple of minutes going over the whole thing. And again, if it's overwhelming, we are going over this too fast, please take your time later on to check it out. We start with, of course, the timing. We have a 8-week course here starting as of today, student learning outcome and course objective. It's ultimately about use of the probability techniques, hypothesis testing, and topics include descriptive statistics, probability, and sampling distribution, so on and so forth. So ultimately, statistics. The text, it's free, it's open, it's from OpenStax. And you don't have to purchase anything. In fact, the setup is such that everything is free. The text is free. The digital homework is free. And this is more like a resource if you need to go back and forth. I have set up the course that between my PowerPoints and the lectures that are posted on my OpenMath, you may not even have to, use this resource, this textbook. It is absolutely up to you. But bear in mind, it is available and it is free. I also will show you how to find it under MOM, my OpenMath, which we use to do our digital homework. I'm going to refer to it to MOM from now on. That is all free, and I'll show you how to register with that too. Here's a class calendar, just to give you an idea. The very first exam is coming up in a couple of weeks. One thing I want to tell you, although we meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I figured if I could give you a break, meaning not having the exam on any of those days, instead, I give you all the way to Saturday. I am hoping that this will help you do better. Therefore, instead of having the exams on the days that we meet, it will be on Saturdays. The very first one is on 11:06, all the way to the last one, which is on 12:18. And you will have the whole day. But when you start, then it is timed. And I highly recommend you start no later than 5-6 p.m. I have the note for you here, so I'm going to quickly go over that. Of course, exam reviews are done during the class meetings. You'll see it in a moment. And there will be no proctorio exam, no cameras, anything like that. So here's the note that I want you to pay attention to. Attending review sessions is highly recommended. Basically, you're in class. So you don't want to miss that to succeed in this course. However, all review sessions are recorded and become available under the Zoom recording shortly. They will also be posted under the recorded practice test tab in Canvas. I will be available during the designated exam time to answer any questions. However, students can take the exam later the same day after studying for some time. Exams expire at 11:59. What do I mean by that? The exams are to be taken on Saturday. You can take it anytime. And the exam expires at 11:59. So you really don't want to wait, too long. You don't want to do it after 7-8 p.m. because you want to be on the safe side. So we have weekly meetings, as you know, per class schedule on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Calculators and formula sheets can be used during the exam, not notes, not PowerPoints, but you can use your calculator, any calculator, graphing calculator. In fact, I will show you on Canvas how you can get an emulator for a graphing calculator for free. I hope it works out for you because sometimes it acts up. I want you to know that. If you can see my page, here's the graphing calculator that I could get online, so you can do the same thing, and I'll show you where to find the information for that. For the tech support, my OpenMath, remember it's a OER, Open Educational Resources, so their tech support may be limited, yet they have something. However, your distance education for Canvas support or campus tech support, they are available. They may work out better for you. The Pi Shop is really the math lab or math center, whatever you want to call that. You can enroll with the tutoring, which is for free, and you can go to the tutorial sessions. I have the URL for you here, and for more information, you can check their link. As far as grading policy, and that is, I think, the most important thing for students, I hope it is, your online homework is 200 points. A review participation discussion board is 100 points. Those 300 points should be easy to gain. I'll show you how to do each and every one of them. There are 4 exams, each one is worth 100 points, and the final, which is comprehensive, is 300 points. And please understand, although I say comprehensive, all you have to do, study from previous exams. That's for the 4 exams. And then the new module, module 5. So study from the previous exams, new module, module 5, and you will nail the final. So it's really not too bad. In general, I don't have a makeup exam because you are given the whole, day. And but if something comes up, you can let me know. I see if I can do anything for you. Also, you must take all the exams in order to pass the course. Your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam, percentage-wise. The final score, as long as your final score is good, meaning B, 80% or better, your homework and discussion boards are at least at 90%. And this action will result in a higher letter grade. You can go back and read that. The course late work, there is no late work. You can get late pass for some of your online assignments, not for any of the discussion forums, not for the first exam or the first assignment or the final. The time frame for exams and inquiry, you will have the result back shortly, and I will have it posted within a few days on Canvas. Now, the thing that is important, and I refer to this as CSULB Study 36, and you can go to their website to check it out, is that how much time do I need to study in order to be successful in this course? As you know, this is a fast-paced course. Normally, we need 3 times the number of units per week for a 16-week semester for a regular semester. And this is a short semester. So it would have been like 3 times 4. It's a 4-unit course, 12 hours, but you really need more than that, somewhere between 18 to 20 hours to do really well. And it's because it's condensed. We do the job in 8 weeks. That's the reason. I got to emphasize, as far as the dropping policy, if you miss the orientation, you're already here. Or if you do not register with the publisher, namely MOM, immediately, we don't have time. Even 24 hours is way too long for a course that is only taking place over the course of 8 weeks. Or if you basically miss any of the exams. For information about OSS, financial aid, LAC Care Network, all of the above, you can find the information here. It doesn't pertain to everyone. That's why I don't want to spend too much time on that. But please understand, I'll put all the information for you here. And I have the summary steps to success, which basically says, watch the PowerPoints and the video lectures that can be either before the assignment starts or embedded within the assignments or both. And make sure to post a question for your discussion forum and read other posts in time. And don't forget the practice test. The office hours takes place on Saturdays from 9 to 11. I am available at that time if you have any questions. And as I mentioned, the time frame for the exams and inquiries, I answer your email almost immediately, normally less than 24 hours, even in the case of a weekend, although on the weekend it may not happen, but I try my best even on the weekend. And of course, we have the syllabus addendum. I highly recommend you look at it. It talks about the student learning outcomes, gradings, and so on and so forth. Now, going back to the syllabus, if you look at the next one is the Excel calendar. It's a very short calendar. It's a very fast-paced calendar. So please understand what's happening. We are here the first day of classes, and we are supposed to do really 2 chapters, believe it or not, because we cover about 12 chapters. So chapters 1 and 2 this week, and chapter 3 and 4 next week, although exam 1 covers chapter 1 through 3. But what happens immediately after the next week, we have the second exam, which covers chapters 4 and 5. But notice what happens. We're going to have a veteran day, and therefore we won't meet on that Thursday. That's why I want you to study chapter 4 next week. And we continue week 4, so on and so forth. But remember, the break I've given you, and I hope it works out, is that you can take the exam on Saturdays. I want to go back to the home page And after the syllabus, it's the modules. I want to tell you what's happening with the modules. And here's the synopsis of that. On, on the left side, by the way, I hope you see that we are looking at announcements, syllabus, modules. Click on the module link. There are 5 modules to complete. I have cut the course into 5 modules, and each exam covers a module. Normally, a module covers 2 chapters, with the exception of the first one, because chapter 1 is basically definitions. The only thing I like you to print, you don't even have to print that if you have like an iPad or something like that, that you can easily see the questions and you can go over the answers on your own. But this is really not a bad idea to print the practice test and check it out. Skim the questions because you want to see what you're getting yourself into. Then you want to watch the PowerPoints in slide mode. If you put it in slide mode, the steps show up step by step. The solution to each question shows up step by step. It's not in one shot. And solve the practice test as you go through the PowerPoints gradually. And the next one is the homework. So let's look at the modules. If you click on this, or on the left side, click on this, the modules show up. So I want to tell you what's going on here. Here's your course that takes place in MOM, and we're going to do the homework. We're going to go over that in a moment. But look at the modules: exam 1 module, exam 2, 3, 4, 5, and formulas. They basically give you the same thing. What I want to do, I want to go over the exam 1 and then the formulas, because exam 2 module 3, 4, and 5, they basically are similar. Notice I put this that practice test, PT short for practice test, exam review, take-home test, whatever you want to call that. The reason I want you to print this, even if you don't print it, as I mentioned, it's okay if you think you're fine with that, because number 1, I want you to read and see what's coming your way. In other words, for the first exam, if you know this much, you are in good shape. The reason I want you to read that, it takes maximum 5 minutes of your time. So you see what's coming up. So what is it that module 1 will cover? And this is the one that you should answer on a daily basis. And if you want to do well, you just don't wait until the last moment. You answer a few questions per day. And trust me, by the time we get to the day of the exam, we are more than ready to move on, because by the time we get to the day of the exam, all we have to do, review this. Needless to say, I have the solution to this. Also, I have the video solution to this. I'll go over that for you. So going back here, so I can close this. Well, let's have it. Now, next you see chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. These are the PowerPoints, everybody. So chapter 1. And we start with section 1.1. If you download this and you put it in slide mode, you'll see it as I do that later on. You see everything is done step by step, not, the whole page won't show up, but a portion of a page, a sentence will show up, and it makes it a lot easier to follow. This is the first section, then the second section, and the third section. Now, when I go back to the module, this was chapter 1, then you do chapter 2, then you do chapter 3. Now, in fact, may not be a bad idea. You just do chapter 1, and then you go to MOM to do your homework. I will show you in a moment. You do chapter 2, you go to MOM to do the homework, so on and so forth. Notice what happens at the end of the module. We have the solution. Remember the first one right here, we had the questions. Now, we have the solutions. So not only I've given you the question for practice test, I've given you the solution with details. And I want you to pay attention to the way I answer the questions, because for you to get full credit for your discussion forum, you want to do the same thing. As we come across questions that they require a math and formulas, so on and so forth. So going back to the modules, exam one module, we have the practice test, we have the PowerPoints that pertain to that practice test, we have the solution to the practice test. Everything is there. And while we go over them at the same time, we do our homework. However, before we get there, I want to show you what happens at the end, because then you have module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5. And look what we have here, formulas. We can use them during the exam. We can also use the tables, by the way, and a TI calculator. Now, you cannot use PowerPoints, but basically you can use everything that you have here. Now, here's the formulas. Although you have them available on even if you have them available in the form of a card, index card, you can use it. But I have all the formulas you need here. In fact, I have the TI command as to how you use a TI calculator. So going back again, we are looking at the modules and I'm looking at the formulas. So here's the formulas. Here's the tables, everybody. You need the tables coming up. For example, the Z table, the T table, so on and so forth. It is available here. You don't have to print it. I think you have access to it right here. That's good enough. What else do you see here? TI. Now, the very first thing I want everybody to pay attention to is that what I've done, if you go to this PowerPoint, I've shown you how you can download the emulator. And it's not mine. I have found it online, and I hope it works, because sometimes for some computers, I had a hard time making it work. There are other calculators, there are references. 84 emulator, I have it here. I have the TI calculator commands here that you need for the different chapters. But remember, you really have to show your work, and it is not a calculator that does the job for you. The purpose of the calculator is to make your life easy, but it will not do statistics. You have to show work. Also, look at this very last page. I have put more calculators here. Elementary statistics, online calculators, and resources. In other words, not only I don't want you to pay for the book, I don't want you to pay for the digital homework, I don't want you to pay for the calculator, I don't want you to pay for anything. Everything is there. Please check all those resources and see which one works the best for you. The text is universal, so is mom. This calculator thing, it's up to you to make it work for you. Find out which one works the best for you. I'm going to go back to the home page, and the next one was the homework. I'm going to cover that in a moment. And number 4 says practice test solution. Check the solution posted. I have already shown you the solution. As far as the homework is concerned, if you click on homework, it will take you again back to the module. And over here, you have to do the homework. And the way it works, I want to make sure everybody understands. You do not need a course ID. Just click on it. And what? If you have an account, you have a username and password, use it. If not, create one. It's very simple and it gets you started there. Now, I'm not going to do that because I already have an account, but please understand, I'm going to repeat under the module, the very first one, it says mom, my open math. Click on it and start registering. I hope, and some students have already done that. I hope everybody does it tonight after the course. And so let's quickly go back to the home page, and I'm going to leave the student view because I want to show you if you go back to the modules and click on this, then it'll take you to your course in mom. And I want to explain that to you. Here's the home page of mom or my open math. So as far as the homework is concerned, the very first thing I want you to see is mandatory assignment, introduction to my open math. This is really a good idea. This is a good idea to start immediately because it basically tells you how to put the answers. So if you click on it, okay, just for the sake of argument, entering numerical answers. So just for the sake of argument, let's just put, enter this number. So what is it? If it requires a fraction or a square root or power, you can use the palette, math palette. So in this case, 95.1066, I'm just putting it in. And the next one, enter the number rounded to the nearest hundreds. Okay, so this is 95.1. The next number is 0. This is the one that I use, but since next to it is 6, I go up to 1. And can we divide by 0? No, it's undefined or does not exist. Let's submit the question and notice what happens. There is a check mark, which means I have done it right. Otherwise, I can redo that. Now, the next one is rounding and more questions. Enter the expression in the format, putting the percentage. Please do this. It doesn't take long, but it is really important. It also tells you about the late pass. And so after you're done with this, by the way, when I click on done, see what happens. It shows me that I did question 1, but I haven't attempted the rest of it. So I have a choice. I can resume or exit. So you're doing the homework. And in the middle of the homework, you want to, leave and come back so you can resume it later on. For now, I'm going to exit, and it indicates that I've received 1 question correct. I've done it right, gives me the point, and I go back. And as long as it's not expired, by the way, it will expire in a couple of days. I will receive the full credit for that. Now, the next one at the top, I put the exams for now. You want to completely ignore that. No exam is due yet. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. Later on, you click on it, you start the exam. And every exam has a password. I will give it to you. Now, first, the course description. This course provides an overview of statistics. Then we have the calendar. I want you to pay attention to the calendar. The very first one, as you can see, it's due in a couple of days. And then the first exam, look at the first exam, it's coming up in 2 weeks. And the day before that, everything is due. Here's what I want everybody to pay attention to. Why have I set it up this way? Because in the past, if I put everything to be due every couple of days, some students wouldn't have a chance to do it because some students perhaps work and they can only do the work on the weekend. Whatever that works, I figured instead of that, I make all of them do the day before each exam. Please do it on a daily basis. If you want to go there and do the homework right on that day, there is no way that you will learn all the material you need to get ready for exam one. I expect you to do this on a daily basis. And this homework that is due in a couple of days, you should do it immediately. Now, and by the way, you can click on them, the homework show up, okay, or I'll tell you where you find them later on, okay? But for now, let's go to the first module we come across is called Module 0. Module 0 is all the resources, such as your text, gradebook, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go over that. I'm going to take a couple of minutes. Module 0, please, if you have almost any questions about MOM after you do the introductory assignment, every question you have should be answered here. So take a look at what you find there. First and foremost, we have the text. Again, you can click on it. And this is simply a reference text. You don't have to, study it if you don't want to, and you don't have to purchase anything, so on and so forth. Now, late pass, if by any chance you miss an assignment, not the very first one, you may use a late pass if it's after the expiration date. Immediately after, you have only a few days, you can't do it a month later. There is a short video showing you how to use a late pass. So if you ever need to use a late pass, come here and watch this. How do you use a calendar? I practically showed you by clicking on the, homework. But over here, it's a 2-minute video. My Open Math gradebook. I want you to pay attention to this. Again, this video explains about the gradebook, and also this chart shows you, since the homework is weighted, the grade under past due is your current class grade. The past due and attempted is for you to see your grade after you attempted an assignment not due yet. Please understand this about the homework. When the course is over, if it's a percentage, I multiply it by 200 and put it in Canvas. This, at any given time, you should know what your homework is. Now take a look at the next one, because this question comes up. If you want to review any assignments, to review any of your assignments, go to your gradebook in MOM and click your score. Click your score, and you can review the assignments. Then we have the tables. We have free online calculators. Take a look. Please don't pay a penny for any calculators. If you have them, more power to you. If you can make this one work, the TI calculator that I mentioned, that would be nice. You can download it, that would be nice. If it doesn't work, over here, I put tons of calculators here. You have to check to see which one works the best for you. You may not like any of them. Please check them out. More information about TI calculator, videos about how to use TI calculator. So I put a lot of information for you here. I hope you appreciate that and you use them. A p-value calculator, later on we discuss the p-value. You may not know what it is now. More online calculators. If one of them is Desmos, and it tells you how to use it with a short video. So this is it. There are external websites, online stat calculator, daily schedule calculator, study schedule. My God, there are so much, resources. It's unbelievable. I was very happy to find them, put them all in one shot under Module 0. Now, look at it. You may not need any of it, but please spend a few minutes to see what you have there. And I have the topic here that says, okay, what you can find underneath. Text, gradebook, calendar, late pass, flowchart, formulas, online calculators, more resources and websites, just about everything. Now, as we did it in Canvas, we do the same thing here. Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, Module 4, Module 5. That's what we are going to cover. So I'm going to start with Module 1. I want to tell you how you do your studying. You start with module one. First, let me just close all those. Module one has 3 chapters. So chapter one, class, you click on it and it opens up. So first watch these videos. If you go over my PowerPoints or these videos or both, ultimately it's up to you. Let me be clear. If you watch these videos and they are enough, you don't have to even watch my PowerPoints. It is your choice. If you go through those, then these are my videos, instructors video or lectures I have by multi-library, and then all other recommended video lectures. Just watch those and report any broken links, please, because those are not mine. And let me know if anything happens. If they are good enough, maybe I would watch everything and decide what works best for me. Then the homework starts from here. And you start doing your homework. So a TV news program conducts a poll where viewers must pay 50 cents to call various 900 numbers to express the opinion. So what type of a study is this? This is a voluntary response bias because a survey is normally like that. Question number 2, the fraction 1/5. It is asking you to change it to a percentage. I know it's elementary algebra, and I know you don't know that. One thing I want to make a point of, this is 20%. Okay, if you submit the question, it check marks it. If you put 20 including the percentage sign, it will be wrong. The reason being because it is giving you the percentage sign. And again, you do the same thing. You continue more and more. You do the work in the middle of the homework. You say it's done. So it tells you, okay, one of the question is done. The other ones are on. I thought we did question one. It's unattempted, so you can resume or exit. So this is how you do your homework. So the synopsis of MOM, my open math, when you get there, the very first thing you do is your introductory assignment. Exams for now, ignore it. The next thing you do under module 0, look at all that is available to you and see if you want to use any of them or none of it. And if a question comes up about late past calendar and so on and so forth, you can go back to module 0. Then you start with module 1, and the very first section has a bunch of videos. None of them is long, class, just a couple of minutes. Watch it and take it from there. You finish 1.1, you go to 1.2, 1.3, chapter 2, so on and so forth. And after that, you're ready for the exam. So now let's go back to the homepage of Canvas. Homepage of Canvas. Remember, from modules, this top page, we went to MOM, my open math. What is the next one? The next one says discussion forum. Submit one question per forum. So, and then the exams. So let me quickly show you what you find under the discussion forum. Number 1, student bios. Some students have already put their bios, and I appreciate if you do that. Then we have module 1, module 2, module 3, 4, 5, just the same as before. And what do we put for module 1? I want to go over that. So again, student bio, and by the way, frequently asked questions. Frequently asked questions. Questions are answered here that I've seen in the past students come across. I hope that is helpful. Please take a couple of minutes, go over them, and your question may be answered before you ask. The student bios was explained, and at the end we also have student-to-student class interaction. I want to also explain that. I encourage you to work together and answer each other in a constructive and respectful manner. You can have an in-depth conversation as well as any Q&A pertaining to our class. I will not monitor this discussion board except to make sure all is proper and respectful. It's all about respect. Class, I'm sure you agree with me. Now, here's the module 1. I want you to pay attention to the instruction. This will easily give you 20 points. So pay attention to what you need to do. You are required to post at least one question and its solution either from the practice test number 1, posted under the modules, or any source of your choice. In other words, I want a question that pertains to the first module. You can even choose a question from my own practice test, and you have to write all the solutions with details. One of the things that is important, pay attention to the instruction, read all the posts, questions and solutions posted by others first, and pick a different question to post. You can't have a duplication. Also, a question with one-word solution, one-line solution, or definition is not accepted. I don't want you to write definition. In other words, chapter 1, which is all definition, I don't want it to be here. Number 2, by the way, still with number 1, you want to write the question number if it's from the practice test, and you want to show using math palette, you want to show mathematical formulas. Number 2, find a similar problem online or on YouTube or Khan Academy and post the link. That's another 5 points. So 10 and 5 is 15. And finally, comment or explain at least one classmate question that is either solved or found and posted by watching it carefully in its entirety. That gives you 5 points. I want to make sure you understand this last part. When you comment, it's not that, thank you so much, it was great, I learned a lot. This is not a comment. You can thank this, and that's very nice. But what did you learn? Outline a few steps. You can say, I learned a lot and I learned how to do your problem. But what problem? What type of a problem? So discuss the problem they put up, or discuss the YouTube video or Khan Academy, any video that they put up. Here's an example that I've put up. I suggest you read that. And I put a similar question on a YouTube, and here's the comment that I put up. I highly recommend you read this to know how to put everything properly. Also, I am giving you a couple of videos how to embed an image into Canvas and how to use the math editor. So that's the discussion forum. Each one is worth 20 points. 5 of them gives you 100 points. So this is the discussion forum. And finally, you take the exam in time in MOM. The meeting takes place. It is explained here, Tuesdays and Thursdays here. And for the online homework, for the office hours, I have, let me just get rid of this so you can see that. For the office hours, I have this URL for only Saturdays, but Tuesdays and Thursdays we meet. I wish you all best of luck and happy studying, everybody.